And I talked to Comedy Central. I was like, could you get me like a celebrity for like a joke thing? And they're like, we got Creed and Todd Packer and Oscar from The Office. Who do you want? And I was like, oh, like I'd love to shoot with Oscar. And like he showed up to the shoot and stuff and was like super fucking chill and went out of his way to like look up ahead of time and be like, hey, I saw your cat video. Really funny stuff. You know, like the kind of like, oh, I can tell you jump through the hoops
the nice
of cordiality.
networking stuff. Yeah,
exactly. So it's like something like that. But then it's like, I obviously understand I'm never going to hear from him again, you know, until our paths potentially cross in an unrelated thing later on. But separate from that, like a T-Pain though, like that dude fucking reached out and was just so overwhelmingly sweet on the podcast and stuff and said he'd been like watching our shit and supporting us for years and stuff. And then has since then like rated multiple times and like just been tweeting back and forth and shit. And like I went on his Twitch stream show like 2 weeks ago and we talked for 4.5 hours and just got super drunk and shit. And I'm just like, that was really fucking cool. Like a dude that you listen to and have been supporting for a while. And
that must be so crazy, especially because T-Pain was, you know, when we were growing up. I mean, T-Pain, he was releasing all these songs. It was fucking T-Pain. I mean, that's gotta be, because I feel like a lot of the time with what we do, it's like we all, I feel like internally view ourselves as like D-list celebrities. So it's like we don't, but like so interacting with like someone who is like that, I don't know. I guess I could say like real celebrity. I mean, what is even a real celebrity these days when you've got like Addison Rae and Charlie D'Amelio doing shit like that and going on Jimmy Fallon. But I mean, that must have been fucking walking on air.
It was really cool. Yeah, it's really cool, and it still feels like it's very new to me to see those lines blurring, you know? Like, it was so, you know, it's so interesting to me, too, and, like, I hope this doesn't sound like I'm saying it with any sense of, like, an air of superiority at all, but I just found it so interesting where, especially top of the pandemic, when a lot of traditional media people were transitioning to, like, doing Twitch streaming and a bunch of shit, like, for the first time ever, something just really perspective bringing to see like, oh, I know that guy, you know, X person has like, I've seen his TV show for 10 years or whatever. Right. And now he's streaming on Twitch and there's like 70 people watching him.
Yeah. I mean, I have more people than he does
than
on
this
Twitch.
guy.
Like,
and I'm like, exactly. And you're like, I look at that guy and still in my brain, I'm like, well, that guy's like, he's in there, you know, like he's doing shit. That's a celebrity and stuff. And I'm like, I really don't think of myself as that. I really don't think any of us really think of that, you know, but then you'll see that kind of thing. I don't know. It's interesting. I hope that didn't sound douchey.
No, it didn't at all. I think it definitely is a win for like us content creators to like see that. But I think the main difference and the reason for that probably is because, you know, they've got all these people, they've got their manager, their agent and stuff. A lot of their fame is sort of tied to the companies that will promote whatever they're in, if it's like a movie or something like that. Whereas, you know, our audience is directly tied to our social media accounts. And it's like, that's just, it's a lot more just like A to B than like, whereas a celebrity, they've got like all of these things. And, you know, they've also got social media, but it's like, yeah, no, I get what you're saying though. That is, it is a like a kind of a good feeling because it's like, hey.
Well, and it's really weird too because, and again, this year is illuminated more than any other year for me, but it seems like we're in this weird pocket with just culture and technology catching up with traditional media where there's a lot of overlap of like the people that are customarily in both camps want what the other people have. So there's a lot of opportunities for overlap because you have these traditional guys that especially, you know, when their feet are to the fire in a pandemic are like, you know, I can't show up to the CBS set or whatever, like fucking this week, you know, I gotta play Warzone or something like that, you know? And I'm like, hey, I'd love to even, can I just be a PA one day on a CBS
guys, you
set?
see my cat video?
Yeah, just see my fucking cat video? Oscar said it was funny, man. Can I come over? So it's like you have that, and it's like, it's exciting if you know how to put yourself out there in the right way, but not be a fucking overbearing prick, you know? It's like a lot, you can have a lot of like cups pouring into each other in terms of like collaborations and shit, so...